Just past the halfway point of their home schedule, Portland Timbers 2 find themselves in a bit of a rut, winless in their last 5, and hoping a return to Providence Park is just what is needed. Tonight, Los Angeles Galaxy 2 come calling under an interim manager looking for a second consecutive road victory. It's match day 21 as Portland Timbers 2 welcome Los Angeles Galaxy 2 into Soccer City, USA. Let's take a look at the standings in USL Championships Western Conference. Phoenix Rising on top of the table. You see Portland Timbers 2 currently in a tie for 8th place. LA Galaxy 2 just below Sacramento there in 10th place. And with that, we welcome you into the broadcast booth here high above the field at Providence Park, alongside a man who needs no introduction, two-time MLS Cup champion, former Portland Timbers defender Nat Borchers. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Nat, when these two teams get together, fireworks ensue. 7 meetings in a row, there's been at least 5 goals combined between these two sides.
Yeah, Fletcher, and these are the kind of games you just get up for because both teams know how to attack so well. Defending sometimes goes out the door, but that's fine because we love to see the goals, and it's going to be a very exciting night for both teams.
Meanwhile, for T2, we mentioned the bit of a rut that they are in, struggling as of late, looking to regain a little bit of form, and Cameron Knowles knows they can do it.
Yeah, and I think a bright start is going to go a long way for this squad tonight. They've given up the first goal in the last 4 games that they've played, and being winless in 5, that really sets you back. So I think being at home, going out, having a ton of energy is really going to go a long way for this team tonight.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch. A man who has really been a linchpin for the success of Portland Timbers 2 is Erik Williamson, second in the league with 7 assists and also 2 goals, 3 assists against Los Dos all time.
He's going to be the possession engine for this team. He's going to be getting the ball. Look for him to have the pulse on the game. He needs to find the game early, make sure that he can also change the game as well with the kind of quality that he brings to the table.
The center forward up top for the LA Galaxy side. LA Galaxy 2, also known as Los Dos, is the man we'll keep an eye on. Ethan Zubak, the Corona, California native, has shown time and time again he's got the ability to do some special things.
I just love watching this kid play because he's very smart movement off the ball. He finds a lot of space in and around the box, and then when he's in front of goal, he finishes, which is what you want from your forward.
You look at this matchup, it'll be the 10th all-time meeting between Portland Timbers 2 and LA Galaxy 2. Both teams have a winning record on the opponent's home field. We'll see if that holds true tonight as we get you starting lineups and opening kickoff next.
It's Freighter! What a hit! Crossing in, it's a goal! Piece of it knocked away myself. Omar Salgado, the hometown hero.
Streaking run from Dot Suggs.
Cross keeps the winner! Another brace! Mower!
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Back live at Providence Park, just about set for kickoff between Portland Timbers 2 and Los Angeles Galaxy 2 on a beautiful Sunday evening in the Rose City. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the home side. Portland Timbers 2, 7 changes from the loss 8 days ago down in Fresno. Kendall McIntosh gets his first start and goal since June 8th. Andy Polo, his first ever appearance with T2.
Yeah, you got to take a look at that weaponry that's up front. You got Esprilla, you got Polo, you also have Williamson, Luria. Those guys can score goals at will. It's going to be very exciting for this attack for T2 tonight.
Cameron Knowles in his second season as head coach of this T2 side, 24, 19, and 11 in his coaching career with Portland Timbers 2, and hoping to get back to the winning ways that we saw early and often throughout the course of the first half of the season. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles Galaxy 2, 4 changes from a midweek 3-1 win over Tulsa Roughnecks on the road. Eric Lopez gets the start in goal for Los Dos, and a familiar name in Michael Gallagher will play right back, former T2 defender.
Yeah, and this is a team that definitely lacks experience, but they're going to come in here with a big chip on their shoulder, and it's going to be important for that number 67, Harvey, to make sure he stays disciplined and make sure he tries to control that midfield, because it's going to be important for Los Dos tonight.
Just the third match in charge of Los Dos for Junior Gonzalez, who took over as the interim manager on July 19th. Last 2 seasons, though, he was the head coach of Rio Grande Valley FC and managed a 17, 27, and 22 record and won the 1997 national title as a player with the UCLA Bruins. Well, we're just about set to get underway in this one. And Nat, as you kind of look at the keys to the game for Portland Timbers 2, what do you want to see out of the home side tonight to get back to their winning ways?
I think it's all about scoring first, Fletcher. As I talked about in the open, this is a side that's given up the first goal in the last 4 games. And when you're on a winless streak, starting well and having that energy early on is going to get you where you need to go. So they need to get that first goal. The second piece of it for me is winning that midfield battle. They got the quality in midfield. Erik Williamson now is back. Todd Wharton is such a stalwart in there. I think Konechny is going to be fun to watch as that really number 10 creative player. So I think they have the tools they need to really dominate the possession in this game.
It'll be fun to watch as a lot of familiar names back in the starting 11 for T2, who will attack right to left to start in the all-green first-choice kits. Whistle blows from our head referee, Alejandro Aguilera Jr., and we are underway here at Providence Park. Portland Timbers 2, 7, 6, and 7 so far on the season, 28 points. Meanwhile, Los Dos 6, 7, and 8, 26 points so far this season as the early foul called on Erik Williamson. Important, as Nat mentioned, for T2 to get off to a good start. When they do, they become a very difficult team to beat. Though one of the surprising numbers, you might say, given the hot start for Portland Timbers 2 this season, is just 14 of their 37 goals have come at home so far this year. Now, they played more road matches than they have home matches to this point, but still, you would imagine, just as the MLS Timbers do, T2 want to make this a fortress. They have yet to really take full advantage of playing in this building, as Los Dos will get the early restart. Ball chipped into the box, and Mo Jadama, who's back in the starting 11 for the first time in a little while after recovering from a hamstring injury, heads it away, though Los Dos put it back into the box, bounces off Jadama, and Polo eventually gets it to Asprilla, nutmegs his man, and then taken down, and foul called, as you might expect.
Already seeing Los Dos trying to press high, getting that early set piece there. That's what they want to do. They're going to want to make sure that they win those battles. Definitely play for some set pieces. T2 struggled defending set pieces, especially the last time these two teams played. T2 gave up 3 set piece goals to Los Dos. And so I know Cam Knowles is going to want to do better for his side at home in this match.
That high press and heavy press from Los Dos turns over T2, and they get the ball back. About half the field in the shade. But Los Dos all last year had just 3 wins on the road, and if they're able to emerge victorious tonight, would have 4 already this season. So taking better advantage of their opportunities away from home down there at Dignity Health Sports Park. As Erik Williamson finds the left back, Roy Miller. Switch back and forth has the Costa Rican between a center back spot and that left back spot. Obviously favors his left foot, as Tomas Konechny tries to find Loria. Pass blocked, and Los Dos picks up possession. Quickly given away to Wharton in the center circle, though. Todd Wharton, the team's leader in minutes, as Konechny is fouled from behind by Schultz.
Yeah, it's a good start from T2. Just trying to win back possession there in the half of Los Dos. Did a good job there of applying pressure, winning the ball back there, and then Los Dos has forced the foul.
Carlos Harvey, the man you're looking at there, number 67 for Los Dos, the 19-year-old from Panama City, Panama, is on loan from Toro down in Panama. Played against the USA for Panama back in January of 2019. So seeing some senior national team time was Harvey, as the ball works itself to Bill Tuiloma. Another MLS Timbers player working himself back from injury. Light back pass, and Tuiloma able to knock it off of Cuello Out to touch. Dangerous moment there as the back pass was a little soft. Great opportunity for some of these guys to get some minutes. Andy Polo, another guy recovering from a hip injury. And Nat, you really want to see players like Andy Polo, Bill Tuiloma, Tomas Konechny, Erik Williamson really exert their will on this game, given that at times they have been top selections for Giovanni Savarese and the MLS Timbers.
Yeah, you want to see these guys come into these types of games and use it not only as a way to maintain their fitness, but also as a way to stay sharp. And you want to see the attitude right. You want to see them show their quality. And against an inexperienced side like Los Dos, they have to show up and they have to show that they do have quality and they have to perform. It's very, very important for them because they're thinking, okay, am I going to get some minutes here in upcoming fixtures? The Portland Timbers have, what, 5 games in the next 15 days, so definitely some opportunities for these guys to get themselves into the lineup.
Konechny tries to chase it down, is unable to do so, and eventually ends up at the feet of Kendall McIntosh. Luria dispossessed. Marvin Luria, player who has enjoyed his soccer against Los Dos. Only played against them twice, but 1 goal, 3 assists for Luria against Los Dos. And Nat, very similar to these two clubs' MLS sides, play very open style and clearly plays down to this level as well, as this ball nearly finds its way through for Zubak, but Jadama's there. He's dispossessed though. Opportunity here for Los Dos. Zubak just can't control the touch. Roy Miller back to defend. Will dribble out. Eventually put it over the top for Konechny, who stops running after it for a moment. Asprilla could use his speed to get onto it. Hilliard Arce gets there just in time though. And things starting to open up a bit more here in the 7th minute. Early ball in, Jadama clears away. This ball over the top for Schultz. Controls down off his chest. Roy Miller over to defend. He'll pop it up towards a penalty spot. Zubak, open header. And Los Dos with the early lead in the 7th minute.
And it's just sloppy from T2 in this early going, giving balls away, not defending well. The clearance comes out there, and it's just a nice switching ball to the side here, and Roy Miller can't get out there to put any pressure on the ball, and nobody in the box is marking Zubak. Is a free header there for him, for a player of his quality. You can't leave him alone in the box like that. It's an easy finish for him. Kendall McIntosh has 0 chance at that one. 1-0 to Los Dos.
Zubak's 4th goal of the season puts the visitors out in front early. And Ethan Zubak enjoys playing against Portland Timbers 2 himself. He has the quickest goal against in T2 history. Scored 53 seconds into the game right here in this building, July 28th of 2018. Those that follow this club closely or either might remember that game very well, as Los Dos got out to the early lead, and then Portland Timbers 2 put 7 on Los Dos. Foster Langsdorff had a hat trick in that game, so certainly T2 supporters hoping that maybe, despite what it means at the moment, Zubak's early goal could be a good omen for them.
Yeah, that was certainly a crazy game to call. I remember calling that with you last year, Fletch, and so many goals, a lot of lack of discipline in defending, but for T2 to have another slow start, it's got to be very difficult for Cam Knowles. He knows that they need to get out to a better start. They had initially had some very good pressure on the ball, had won it back, and then there was a couple moments, there was a bad couple passes, a couple giveaways, and then some poor defending. They really allowed Los Dos to get in and get that easy service into the box, and then no box defending. Both center backs missing Zubak in there. When Zubak gets into the box, you have to pay attention to him. He's just so clinical in there, and it's a well-deserved goal for Los Dos.
The center back pairing of Bill Tuiloma, Mo Jadama have not played together since the early part of the season, but certainly not what plagued Portland on the goal that they just gave up is something that they've really struggled with, whether it be early goals, man marking, or otherwise through this 5-game winless stretch.
Yeah, it's just been the energy just hasn't been quite right, and in missing out on key plays, just switching off in moments where you have to be tighter, you have to be more switched on. Games can be won and lost in the first 15 minutes, and certainly when you're at home, you have to have a better start. You have to have more energy. You have to be switched on. They did neither of those things.
Here comes Schultz again against Miller. Early cross this time off the chest of Cuello. And Portland just plays out to touch in front of a happy Junior Gonzalez. The interim manager has to be pleased with his team's start. They scored, they actually gave up a goal in the 3rd minute, their last match midweek against Tulsa, and came back to score 3 unanswered. Nate Schultz, Augustine Williams, Jorge Hernandez all got on the scorer's sheet in that midweek match. But it's Portland that's now trying to dig themselves out of an early hole here. 11 minutes in, if you're just joining us. Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you at Providence Park, as Ethan Zubak has the opener in the 7th minute off a cross from Nate Schultz. Schultz's first assist of the season. Offside flag up from that far side official, Ryan Jung. The assistants tonight, Christian Clerk on the near side, Ryan Jung on the far side. Miles Crumley is the 4th official down in between the benches.
And we haven't even talked about Tomas Konechny yet. That was the first run we saw him make out of the midfield, and he needs to have himself a good game tonight. He needs to make sure that he's active, he's engaged. Sometimes he can go missing in matches. There he is right there, the number 19. He really needs to show up, and sometimes he needs to just find the game, because as a young player, you sometimes don't get the ball when you want to get it, and he definitely needs to have that ball. That's just what gets him going. It gets him his energy. So he needs to start finding that ball, start getting involved. Erik Williamson definitely needs to have a big game tonight in that midfield. Make sure he's getting on the ball and having some of that possession. T2 should outpossess this Los Dos team, and they should outpossess them in higher up in the field and make sure they can build out of the back and just play a lot more cleaner than they already have.
One of the things that is forgotten in this 5-match winless run for Portland is the fact that 3 of the 5 have come on the road. Difficult circumstances, certainly no excuse, as Cameron Knoll's team has been dynamic on the road throughout the course of this season and even last season as well. Hansen called for the foul there, taking down Ontiveros. And then Hansen drops the ball behind him, and Aguilar Jr. wants to have a conversation.
Just telling Hansen he wants him to calm down there. It looks like he just gets bodied off the ball there and reacts poorly, pulls the man down. The linesman makes the right call there. Certainly he's right there, able to make that call. But a little bit of frustration coming in for T2 in this early going. But Bill Tuiloma has already hit a couple of those switching balls, Fletcher, and I love to see that from Bill Tuiloma because he's got that in his kit. His ability to hit those long balls, something I wish I could have done better at as a center back. He just gets his head down and just launches it 40, 50 yards on a dime, and he's just such an asset to have back there when you're trying to possess the ball and switch the point of attack.
Gallagher wins the shoulder-to-shoulder battle with Luria. Luria played 12 minutes last night as a substitute for the MLS Timbers against the MLS Galaxy. But now you see teams go through it at any level with seasons as long as what we see in USL, MLS, other leagues, is going a little bit of a rut. Try and find your way out of it. What becomes so important to really, when it seems like things aren't going your way, get things to turn back in your favor?
That's the million-dollar question. I think every team wants to know, but as you said, when the summertime comes, as a player, it gets to be a bit of a grind because you're not quite to, the light at the end of the tunnel in the fall when you know you're going to have playoffs. The body's a little bit worn down from all the matches. The sun's out, so it's a little bit hotter during training, so your energy may be not there. So it's important to be a professional and make sure you're buckling down, and at least, at the very least, if the quality isn't there, you're bringing as much energy as you possibly can to these games, and having the mindset you need to have to win against opponents, certainly that you have more quality than, and this T2 team does have more quality than this Los Dos team, but it's about bringing the energy, because if they bring the energy like they have so far, Los Dos, they're going to be able to win this match. And already seen it just right there, just a poor ball there from the midfield of T2. Just need to clean things up a little bit.
Fans, follow Portland Timbers 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Erik Lopez hasn't had too much to do tonight. He sends that ball forward, overlapping run coming from Jorge Hernandez, the 18-year-old Riverside, California native. As we are a quarter hour in here at Providence Park, Los Dos with the early lead thanks to an Ethan Zubak goal in the 7th minute. Polo nearly intercepts that pass. This time just popped high up in the air. Wharton cleaned out that time by Harvey, who sportingly goes over and picks him up in the center circle. Portland quickly restarts, and we're back underway. Tomas Konechny, big news as it relates to Konechny as his pass is deflected. Zubak picks it up. He's behind the defense. 3 T2 players rushing back, able to slow down the attack momentarily. Now Schultz will shoot, and Kendall McIntosh with a fingertip save.
And again, it's just sloppy from T2 here. It's a bad pass, and it just goes in behind. 3-on-1 there from the T2 defense. They're able to get back and recover, and then just coming inside, trying to get that shot off. McIntosh does a very good job of getting down there. It's a good save. But sometimes, Fletcher, when you're giving up a goal and you're trying to force it to try to get that next goal, and you're not playing as well as you would like, you get a little uncertain, and there's a little bit of shakiness, a little uncertainty right now in this T2 team. They just need to calm themselves down, get some of their veterans on the ball, string a few simple passes together, and then just get into this final third. We haven't seen them create a chance yet in this game. We're already 17 minutes in.
Comes Gallagher on the long dribble forward. Plays to Schultz. In central for Harvey. Quick one-touch stuff there from Schultz. Doesn't quite come off. Portland not able to clear. This ball will fall to Zubak in the box. Shoulder to shoulder with Jadama. Zubak wins momentarily. Tuiloma touches back to McIntosh.
Wow, and it's a good thing Tuiloma was there, because Zubak did really well with his body there, just a body off a bigger Jadama, and almost had himself 1v1 with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, now you can tell with the games we had an opportunity to watch earlier this year, as McIntosh quickly off his line in front of Zubak to make the catch. Tuiloma looking for the offside flag to come up. It did not. That there just isn't that same bounce in the step, that same rhythm that we saw early in the year, at least 18 minutes in here tonight.
But let's be honest, though, Fletcher, this is a team that lacks consistency, and justifiably so. You've got players playing for the Portland Timbers and coming down to play for T2. Then you got academy players also coming up to play with this team. And week to week, it's always different adjustments for Cameron Knowles, and it's obviously very, very difficult to get that kind of rhythm when you got players flying in and out of your lineup week to week.
Loria fouled by Gallagher.
Loria just using his body there, and I'm not sure there was much of a cause for a foul there. I don't think I agree with the referee, but T2 will take that one. This will be a dangerous opportunity for them. They got some bodies in there that can score goals. Tuiloma can get up. Jadama can get up. Certainly Espria and Roy Miller can get up as well.
Erik Williamson and Konechny stand over. Williamson's got 3 goals, 7 assists so far this season. Konechny more quiet. This just his second appearance and start with T2. And it will be the left footer to strike it. Not quite good enough. Was looking for Jadama, but a little too close to Erik Lopez, who collects.
It just lacked the pace and the precision that you really need in there. I like that it's an out-swinging ball, but it just kind of hangs up there, and it's an easy one for Lopez, the goalkeeper, to come out there and get.
Konechny came into the MLS Timbers on loan from Argentine side San Lorenzo on July 18th of 2018. And July 22nd of this year, just a year after he came in on loan, was signed to a full contract as Asprilla goes down in the box and a penalty kick awarded by Alejandro Aguilar Jr. Portland with a chance to equalize in the 20th minute.
And Dairon Asprilla just showing why he is an elite player at this level. He's able to get into the channel here and just bodies off Depew, able to find himself into the box. Difficult to see there from that angle how much contact there really was. I'm not sure that's grounds for a penalty, to be honest with you. It didn't look like there was enough contact for me to be called. Asprilla goes down a little bit too easily. But certainly anytime you get in front of a defender in the box and you go down, it gives the referee justifiable cause to give a penalty.
And though he wasn't involved in the foul, Michael Gallagher has picked up a yellow card for dissent. Most likely. There were 3 T2 players standing over this one: Luria, Asprilla, and Konechny. And it looks like it will be the number 19, Tomas Konechny, trying to pick up his first goal of the season. Had 1 goal last year against Orange County. That was back on August 22nd of 2018. For Los Dos, they've faced 2 penalties, and their opponents have scored both. For T2, they are 6 for 11 this year. Konechny, this will be his first penalty kick taken in 2019. Erik Lopez only faced 1 penalty kick so far this year. That was back on May 12th against Fresno. So we'll see which direction Konechny goes once we get the whistle from Alejandro Aguilar Jr.
A lot of talk between Aguilar and his assistant over there. I'm not sure if they're trying to talk about.
Here's Konechny, step, strikes, and saved by Erik Lopez.
And Los Dos will feel redeemed because they felt it wasn't a penalty, and for me, that's a poor penalty. Konechny just too slow there. Down the center of the goal, too near, not close enough to that far post, not enough power on it. Lopez reads it easily, makes a great save there. I think the soccer gods are smiling there on Los Dos.
Lopez dove to his left. Konechny went with his left foot to Lopez's left. Just not enough power on it.
And he goes across his body as a left footer, Fletcher. When you go across your body like that, you go to that right side, it makes it difficult to get power.
Schultz works a raise around Miller with ease. Crosses, Hansen helps it along and picked up by Hernandez in the corner. Have to imagine that penalty kick save will energize this Los Dos side. We'll see how Portland responds. Ball over the top quickly. And Depew wins it. Hernandez now looking for Vera. Vera dribbling into the box. First time cross just too far out in front of Zubac. Miller knocks it off of Schultz, and McIntosh collects.
And T2 are just all over the place defensively, Fletcher. Harold Hansen is just way too farther up the field, just getting caught out. That channel is so open on that right-hand side. Jadama having to come out and help out. Some good runs into the box. T2 are going to have to clean it up if they want to get a good result in this game.
Comes Luria. Luria fouled by Schultz. You just see the quality of Marvin Luria Basically no one on the right side of that Los Dos defense that can slow him down.
Yeah, he's just so fast and powerful with his runs. Schultz has no choice but to slow him down, hold him back.
And Luria is a guy you'd like to see start to take over this match, given the moments he's had so far. Just doesn't seem like there's much that can be done to slow him down. He can have his way. But Los Dos able to release some pressure here, bring the ball forward. Williamson back for Wharton, and now out into space for Hansen.
And you can see how Los Dos wants to build. They want to play those short little passes in through the midfield, then find those wide players and get crosses into the box.
Here comes Hansen's cross, floated towards the back post. Gallagher chest down. I don't know if he thought Lopez was going to come for it or not, just plays it safe and gives T2 their first corner kick of the evening.
Caught in between two minds, wasn't sure what he wanted to do. At the end, he just gives away the corner kick. As the ball comes in here, he's thinking, does he want to head back? Does he want to chest back to the goalkeeper? Ends up not doing either one. And another dangerous opportunity for T2.
Konechny will strike it, goes towards the penalty spot. Tuiloma rises to win the header. Foul called, though. Might have been on Jadama as he went over the top of the Los Dos defender. Make that a Spria. Both players still down.
As the ball comes in here, you can see 4 players challenging there for it. Looks like Jadama just coming out a little worse for wear. Or was it Espria? I apologize. Yeah, anything can happen in those corner kick situations.
You want to see Tuiloma and Jadama get those opportunities. Obviously, Espria can rise with the best of them as well. Now here comes Hernandez down that left side. Well, floated over the top. Roy Miller settles with his favored left foot and then punts it long out to touch, and Junior Gonzalez with the catch.
Now, if I'm Mo Jadama, I have to have a word with Harold Hansen. He's just too many times when he's been 5, even 10 yards off his line, you're not connected. It's just too easy to get into that space for Hernandez to get that cross off, and he's been just hitting some dangerous service into the box.
This ball over the top, too much for Schultz, and out for a goal kick. Tune in to ESPN3 on July 31st at 6 p.m. for a Wednesday night soccer contest in the land of enchantment. 2 of USL's newest clubs battle for playoff position as El Paso Locomotive FC travels to New Mexico United. See it all July 31st at 6 p.m. on Wednesday night soccer on ESPN3. Here's Polo in the box. Hits the cross. No one there, though, inside the 6. Rolls all the way to Konechny. Bright run from Polo. As a handball called there on Gallagher, as Wharton was trying to send the cross in.
T2 do a really good job of getting the ball quickly out to Harold Hansen, and his ability to find the underlapping run of Andy Polo. Just crosses right across the box. Should be some runners in there for T2. Nobody is brave enough to make that run. But T2 showing some signs of being dangerous here, Fletcher.
Certainly have picked things up since giving up the 7th-minute goal to Ethan Zubak. Nearly a half hour in. Williamson and Luria standing over it. Waiting for the whistle of Alejandro Aguilera Jr. So we'll see if a T2 head can find this one. It'll be Williamson to hit it low and cleared away by the first man. Hansen collects, will spray it out for Williamson. Does well to control off the chest in front of Gallagher. Maria will go back post, and Lopez off his line to collect.
I like the idea on the set piece, hitting an in-swinging ball from that distance. Can certainly have the opportunity to find that far post, but just not enough height on that thing to be dangerous enough. Couldn't get it over that first defender.
Schultz does well to keep it away from Miller. Now to Zubak. Zubak, two come over to defend. And it deflects off of Zubak out to touch. Well, now you wanted to see the front four from Portland be dynamic and a relatively quiet first half hour for him, I'd say.
Yeah, very quiet for the front four, and not seeing the energy that I would like to see from them. Just the level it takes to be up for it and to really engage this attack. You know, you have to see Konechny get on the ball a little bit more. Polo has been very, very quiet. Asprilla, he made one run into the channel and he earned himself a penalty kick. Loria, he's had a couple moments where he's been isolated 1v1, but we're not really seeing them play well together quite yet. Obviously, they don't have a lot of minutes together, which is understandable, but at the same time, need them to have a bit more energy. And I think a lot of that comes down to Williamson and Wharton in the midfield, just finding those passes and getting those guys isolated.
Williamson certainly has the ability to go forward if he wants to. He's been much more used to playing that number 10 role where Konechny is. Loria's cross in over the head of Asprilla and controlled by Harvey.
I really like that from Loria. Every time he's getting on the ball, he's going at that outside back, that winger for Los Dos, trying to impose his will, and he knows he can win that battle.
Chidamo does well to come over and win that ball and earn Portland possession back.
But if you look at the spacing behind Los Dos, there's tons of space back there, and T2's just not finding it quickly enough. Asprilla is not quite timing his runs as quickly as he needs to. Right there, he's made that run, and it's on. It's on for T2 if they can find him.
And you've seen Los Dos catch Portland offside a couple times. That's because they're playing that high line. It's just a matter of Portland being able to acknowledge how to get the ball back there and do it quick enough. You know, we talked last night, Nat, about Renzo Zambrano, former T2 player, getting an opportunity to play with the MLS Timbers, and just maybe a step or two slow from that pace. Just seems like here tonight in this USL Western Conference matchup, a couple players that are just a step or two slow from what's needed to break down Los Dos.
And it's a bit of an infection sometimes when one or two guys, Fletcher, are just not bringing that energy and they're not playing quick enough. It kind of infects the rest of the team, and you see that pass, that errant pass from Loria just go astray. And obviously you have to give the guys a little bit of credit for the fact they don't play together very often, but at the same time they're good enough to show their quality. And we would expect them to be able to string together passes and really start building a little bit better attacks at this level.
Here's Asprilla, who will chase this one down into the box, corner of the box, chance to shoot, and levels the score in the 32nd minute. Dairon Asprilla has 7 goals in 7 appearances for T2.
And this is a big credit to Roy Miller for his defensive stop here. Just kind of a fortunate ricochet there. It allows Asprilla to find the space in behind it, gets it on his favored right foot, and he's able to put it in the back of the net. Look how he shapes his body up. Lopez has no chance, goes to his left-hand side. It's an easy finish for Asprilla, and T2 are on the board. It's 1-1.
Let's see how that wakes them up now. They have the ability to claw back. They've shown it time and time again throughout the course of the season, and they get an important goal just past the half-hour mark, and looks like Dairon Asprilla limping a little bit after the celebration that took place.
Well, and you have to say it's a bit unfortunate for Los Dos. The ricochet, that ball takes off of Roy Miller. It's a great defensive play for him, certainly, but not being accounted for. Asprilla in that back line, you can't switch off for even a moment at this level. Asprilla just punishing Los Dos for switching off.
Tonight is the 12th game for T2 that their opponent has scored first. They have 7 results in the previous 11 matches. So this is a team that even when they trail, find their way back into a match. It's a testament to some of the experience they have on the roster. It's a testament to Cameron Knowles and his coaching staff of Andrew Greger and Aiden Brown, that this team does not give up even when it seems like the deck is stacked against them. And I think for the first time tonight, Cameron Knowles is sitting down, taking a little breather, maybe feeling a little bit better about where his team is at after the struggle of the first 7 to 10 minutes.
I think that it takes a little bit of the stress, the pressure off of his plate in terms of what he wants to see, but now it's a reaction, trying to see which guys are going to be responding now to a tie ball game. How are they going to react? Are they going to impose their will a bit more in this game? Are they going to clean up their passing game? Are they going to have a little bit more energy on the defensive end? I think very important that T2 just start to show their quality as this half moves forward. They still have another 10, 12 minutes to do it.
And now you really look out on the field. It's an experienced T2 side with MLS Timbers contract players, USL guys like Todd Wharton that have significant time this year and throughout their career at this level. Whereas this Los Dos side, they don't have a ton of experience out there. So really kind of yet to be seen how they'll respond when they're faced with some adversity. And throughout the early part of this season, they haven't responded that well.
Yeah, and when you have inexperience, you have guys who haven't been there before. It can be difficult when you're under it, especially when you're away and you're not, things just aren't going your way. I think I look at so far the number 67. Harvey, he's done a very good job in that central midfield, just winning that tackle there. And being disciplined is what you have to do when you're playing a team that has a little bit more quality. That's a tough challenge there.
Williamson will go in the book for it. Took down Zubak from behind. Thought he'd be able to wrap himself around it, get the ball, but got a whole lot of Zubak.
And Harvey just winning the possession there. And then Zubak using his body. That's a tough challenge there from Williamson, just trying to slow him up. Well-earned yellow card. Good call by the referee.
Fourth yellow card of the season for Erik Williamson, making his 13th start for T2 tonight. He is the cousin of Queen Latifah. This ball crossed back central, but no one home. It was Depew who got his head to it. Now settled by Schultz.
I still haven't talked to Williamson about that relationship with Queen Latifah. I'm just wondering if he can get me some tickets sometime to a show. Or
Williamson does well to take it off of Harvey, continues his run into space. Lopez is off his line and wide from Williamson.
Things starting to open up here for T2, finding that space in behind. It starts with Erik Williamson's defensive work, and he gets himself right in behind with that cutting ball. He's looking for that chipped ball to the far post. Lopez does a really good job of getting pressure to him, and he just can't find that far post. But really good stuff there defensively from Erik Williamson to get himself into the offensive end of the field.
It's funny, Nat, you can look at both goals tonight and a fair amount of the opportunities, and they've come off of kind of weird circumstances, even in some senses nothing balls that have created good opportunities. Portland unable to take advantage there.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens in a game, but again, it comes down to being switched on in those moments, making sure that as a defender, certainly you think worst case scenario, and in some of those situations, neither team has been prepared for those funky balances that the game has given them.
And there has been some funky bounces.
Another one
tonight.
right there.
Yeah, you see it go off the leg and then face of Nate Schultz.
Wonder if it's that extra 40,000 seats in Providence Park that's throwing them off. Not really sure what it is.
Well, it's certainly been enjoyable to call matches and be a part of games here at the new Providence Park. And I know that the MLS Timbers and T2 players are certainly enjoying it as well. Hansen hits it central. Asprilla, a sitter at the penalty spot, but he can't keep it down.
Hansen just making a nuisance of himself on the touchline, doing really well to get behind the Los Dos defense. And then Asprilla should do better there. The ball's bouncing, but he's got to get his head over the ball and get that one on frame. He's wide open there. That's a big-time missed opportunity for a man of his quality.
Yeah, with the fireworks we've seen from Dairon Asprilla, we know that he's finished many more harder opportunities than that. The first of which comes to mind is the bicycle kick goal he scored in the home opener back on March 23rd against Las Vegas Lights. He was a Sports Center top 3 number 3 play for that one. As Polo can't control it, gets caught up in the spokes, and Los Dos look to attack the other way. No numbers forward, and this ball well too far over the head of Zubak.
Yeah, and that was some hit from Asprilla when we called that game against the Las Vegas Lights, and I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw that thing hit the back of the net. But we've seen him score some amazing goals for this club at the Portland Timbers level, at the T2 level. He's got it within himself to do it, just hasn't done it consistently enough to really nail down a starting spot.
Miller looking over the top for Luria. Portland able to control it. Great work by Williamson, who now sends Luria forward. Luria, Gallagher over to defend, plays to Williamson, touches to Asprilla top of the box, looks outside for Konechny, but couldn't quite get it to him. And now here comes Los Dos the other direction. No real numbers for the visitors, though they do well to keep it in play on the midfield stripe. Eventually to the feet of the 22-year-old Kiwi Bill Tuiloma, who settles things.
Yeah, it looks like Erik Williamson just starting to really settle into this game, getting his first touch right, showing how clever he is on the ball with his passing. And he's just got so much quality when he wants to turn it on. He can take the game, Fletcher, by the scruff of the neck when he wants to, and really boss things around. It's just about him deciding that he wants to do that and showing that quality that he has.
Five minutes to go till halftime. In case you're just joining us, Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you at Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. It's Portland Timbers 2 and Los Angeles Galaxy 2. The visitors open the scoring in the 7th minute. Ethan Zubak with the goal, a header off of a Nate Schultz cross. And then 25 minutes later, Dairon Asprilla, off some nice defensive work from Roy Miller, helps Portland find the equalizer. Polo goes down, quickly back up to his feet, and a foul called there by Ryan Jung there on the far side as Polo remains down. Ontiveros, the guilty party.
And Ontiveros came in initially with a really good sliding challenge on Andy Polo. Looked to be fair, in my opinion, right there. Gets all ball, and then I think the referee just judging. Gets a little bit too much contact. Polo goes down. Now it's another opportunity for T2 to get one here before the end of the half.
It's one of those situations where after Polo gets up, he goes down again. Ontiveros immediately puts his hands up saying, "I'm not guilty, I'm not guilty," which is one of those universal symbols for you might be guilty, or you're at least going to convince the ref.
You did it.
You did it.
Certainly. It's been interesting to watch Polo in this game, though, Fletcher. He's actually stayed a lot more centrally than we're used to seeing him play, and I think it doesn't really suit him to play in there, and I'd like to see him get a little bit wider and really go at that outside back over there on that side. Ontiveros.
Konechny to serve. Gets it around the wall, falls to Williamson, chests it down, lays it off for Wharton, shoots, blocked, and the counter could be on for Los Dos. Harvey bringing it forward, out wide for Zubak. He's got Schultz in the middle, Hernandez on the far side, but T2 does well to track back in defense. Harvey continuing his run into the box, defended by Miller. Now to Zubak. Zubak will shoot from a tight angle and well over the net of Kendall McIntosh.
And you see the commitment there from Los Dos to get on their horses and get on the counterattack. Doesn't come up for them in that instance, but really forced T2 to recover, and they did really well to get numbers behind the ball. See how high Harold Hansen has been playing in this half as well. I think part of that is why he was caught out a few times. He's being asked, I think, to play very, very high, very aggressive, and Andy Polo was overloading that central area. But we've seen Hansen really get up there and find that space as more of a winger than an outside back.
Well, and that's a funny thing, Nat, is we get the team sheets before the match and start to look through things, and sometimes different coaches can play mind games with the opponent as Luria is fouled in a central position 35 yards away from goal. Could be a shooting opportunity, but as we look at the replay here. Tell me what you saw.
Yeah, again, Luria just getting his body there between himself, the ball and the man. Does a really good job of utilizing his body. It's a clear foul. Another opportunity for T2. But to your point, definitely some mind games being played on the lineup sheet before the game.
And the reason I brought it up is because we know that T2 under Cameron Knowles tend to play a 4-2-3-1, but in the way that he listed it out in the team sheet today, he said it was a 3-5-2 with Harold Hansen as a midfielder. So in a sense, maybe that is truly what we're seeing, as you mentioned, with Hansen playing a bit higher, not looking like he's playing along the back line, at least when T2 have possession.
Well, it makes sense, too, when you have a guy like Roy Miller, normally a center back, playing as a left back. He's probably going to balance. He's going to hold things a little bit more, and it allows Harold Hansen to get more advanced, especially when they do attack. But I think still he's being asked to come back down and defend that channel for T2. Just a lot more running for the young guy.
All right, let's see the three. It's Polo, Asprilla, and Luria standing over it. Whistle's blown. We're good to go. And Polo will strike it looking for Jadama. It was over his head. Flag stayed down. Certainly looked like Jadama was in an offside position when the ball was struck.
Yeah, I can't see from this angle, but certainly looked like he was going to be a shade offsides on that ball. But if the ball was played a little bit better, I think it could have been an opportunity for T2.
Ball looking over the top for Asprilla, who was in offside position, came back to try and get his head to that one. As you look at Andy Polo, made the trek to the World Cup with Peru last summer. Did not appear for Peru in those matches, but has shown flashes with the MLS Timbers, making his first ever appearance with T2 here today. He's got speed on the outside. Like to see some more of it here as we've entered first half stoppage time. 2 minutes to be played as Konechny has it at his feet. Runs coming from Polo and outside from Hansen, and Konechny more or less plays it in between them and finds the only defender there in Antiveros.
Yeah, Konechny just taking way too much time on the ball. Too many touches. Needed to make his decision quicker.
And here comes the cross in for Zubak. Important deflection by Bill Tuiloma, and McIntosh collects. You just see how quickly Los Dos came the other direction and were able to create a good opportunity.
And again, counterattacking into that channel, into that space that Hansen is leaving there. It's a great ball across the box. Tuiloma actually with a fantastic save there, sliding tackle to prevent Zubak from getting his opportunity. But Los Dos saying, you come over here, you punch me, we're going to counterpunch. They have been very good at responding every time they've been under pressure by T2.
Asprilla called for a foul on Gallagher. As we're through 1 minute of the added 2 at the discretion of Alejandro Aguilera Jr. Gallagher with the restart. Will look long and only find Hansen, who heads it back central. Finds the feet of Harvey. Harvey to Zubak. Out to Schultz. Los Dos looking for an opportunity to take the lead back, though. Roy Miller there, and now sends Asprilla forward. Gallagher's going to have to track back quickly. He doesn't have the pace to match Asprilla. Asprilla's touch a little bit loose, though. Forces him to slow down. Now into space for Wharton. Wharton will chip it over the top, looking for Asprilla. It got to him. I don't know if he thought it was going to get over the head of the defender. It did. And Asprilla couldn't regather and create the shot as Luria plays it off the head of Gallagher, and play will be stopped. And Luria goes over to check on Gallagher.
This is just a lovely flatted ball from Wharton, who has no pressure on him, and Asprilla just sees it late, doesn't think it's coming through, needs to expect that ball, is able to get through. I don't think he thought the defender was going to get it, Hillier Arce, and he just doesn't follow through on it. Misses, takes his eye off the chance. Another big opportunity missed by Asprilla.
Tell me, Nat, in that type of situation, obviously ball's coming over the top, you're more often than not going to want to hit it with your favored foot, but would Dyron Espria maybe have been a little better off trying to hit that one with his left with the way he was running, the way the ball was coming in potentially?
No, I think he would be better served hitting it with his right foot as it's coming in, especially if it's his favored right foot, and just place it. All he needs to do is just place it into that far corner. Easier said than done, certainly.
They've come to expect the incredible from Dyron Espria, though.
Gallagher just taking one off the face here. Turns his face, thankfully, but still not easy to take one of those to the side of the head like that. Just have to hope he's okay.
Well, Gallagher won't have to play anymore here in the first half as we're through 45 minutes. All tied up at 1. Los Dos opened the scoring in the 7th minute, and Ethan Zubak header goal, and then 25 minutes later, Dyron Espria equalized for Portland. And as the sun begins to set here in the Rose City, we've got 45 minutes of action left. Halftime show to come. We'll take a look at some of the USL news, scores from around the league, and give you our thoughts on the first half. It's Portland Timbers 2-1. Los Angeles Galaxy 2-1 here at the break at Providence Park, and we will be back in just a little bit.
It's Freighter! What a hit! Crossing in, it's a goal! Piece of it knocked away myself. Omar Salgado, the hometown hero.
Streaking run from Dot Suggs.
The cross keeps the winner! Another brace! Forward!
There's so much pride in this state. There's, I think, been so much pent-up demand in people who have just been looking for a way to shine and come through, and they're so capable. Some of the best people in the world live in New Mexico.
This idea was sort of born from that, you know, why don't we have a section in our stadium that is devoted entirely to the underserved, the underprivileged, you know, maybe kids who would never have the opportunity to come do this, or public servants in our community, firefighters, teachers.
It's really about uniting to the community. It's really about seeing positive outcomes for people. When I see a positive outcome for someone, and I see someone start to believe in themselves more and understand what their capabilities are, it makes me feel so happy, because I think oftentimes people aren't in a situation where they're able to really fully shine. And we have, individually, we have so much inside. It's probably so much more than we're even allowed or think we can give every day. So let's create a platform that gives and encourages giving and encourages community. And I think if we do that, we can make a real change.
For example, we have the YMCA coming, so we gave 75 tickets there. There was 150 tickets went to Herman Sanchez Community Center, and then, you know, the others went to other kids in the community that really would not have this opportunity.
But by the way, if it was gone and someone else wanted to get in, we'd make it happen. It's for everybody.
So it's a way to spread goodwill in our own community to the people who need it most.
It's not just about a game anymore. You know, New Mexico is really out there making a statement.
We wanted everybody from, you know, Albuquerque to Santa Fe to the, you know, the eastern and western corners of the state, southern. You're part of this team. You're a part of this family. It's a movement, really, more than anything else, and we want everyone to know that they're a part of it. That's what our name means, United.
So on July 18th of 2018.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Welcome back to Providence Park halftime here as Portland Timbers 2 and Los Angeles Galaxy 2 tied at 1 after goals 25 minutes apart. And with that, we welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Nat Borchers, Fletcher Johnson here with you. Nat, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes and what we saw in this one?
Well, it was a poor start from T2. They obviously didn't bring the energy or the quality that we expected from them, and they get doomed by the early goal. But they were able to claw their way back into this one towards the end of the second half. We saw them have some more quality. I saw them get the goal they wanted to get, and then they go into the locker room tied. Still some things to work out for Cam Knowles' side, but obviously in a good position to get the points.
Let's go ahead and take a look back at the first half highlights. And as we take a look at those, we start off in the 7th minute, and we see Ethan Zubak getting the opening goal.
Yeah, and it's just poor defending here from T2. They get a little bit too narrow. Miller doesn't get out there to get any pressure on the ball, and it's a lovely flighted ball into the box, and Zubak does what he does best in the box. He just finishes it. It's an easy finish for him with the head. Far corner, McIntosh has no chance, puts them on the board early 1-0.
It woke Portland up a bit, though 9 minutes later, Los Dos nearly doubled the lead.
Yeah, and then you see just a little bit of sloppiness with a giveaway there from Konechny, and not able to convert there for Los Dos, but they get Kendall McIntosh diving to his right. It's a good save from him to keep them off the board.
4 minutes later, Portland had their first great opportunity, and it came from Dairon Asprilla.
And Asprilla just running into the channel, which is something he does very well as a winger sometimes, and he just wins that battle against Depew. And here there's some question marks about contact in the box. I question this PK. I don't think it was a PK, but T2 get the call, and then they get the opportunity to convert.
Konechny a chance to score his second T2 goal.
Yeah, just a poorly taken PK from Konechny, and Lopez does really well, staying big, holding his ground, and waiting for Konechny to take it. Does a good job stopping that chance.
So Los Dos reinvigorated a bit, but 10 minutes later, it was Asprilla who got the equalizer.
Yeah, and then Asprilla just being very fortunate here from the deflection. Roy Miller with some good defending. Asprilla into the channel, finding that speed, opening up his body, getting that ball sent to the far post, just passing it in there. It's a great finish for the number 27. And doing what he does best, finish in front of goal.
T2 would tick on from there, have the better of the play the final 15 minutes, and 4 minutes later, Erik Williamson nearly chipped Lopez.
Yeah, that goal really invigorated T2 a bit, and Erik Williamson just taking the game by the scruff here, winning that challenge in the midfield, and then getting in behind, going for the classy chip as Lopez is coming out. He just couldn't find the target there. The accuracy just wasn't quite there, but the idea was good from him.
Let's take a look at some of the first half numbers. Portland out shooting the Los Dos 5-4, and with nearly 2/3 of the possession in this one. All right, as we go ahead and take a look at some of the scores around the league and standings, it's interesting to look at what we see as it pertains to the scores from around the Western Conference, some of the top leaders in the league. Phoenix Rising continues their torrid pace, 1-0 over Tulsa Roughnecks. New Mexico United, another solid performance over Sacramento Republic, 2-1. And Austin Bold with the victory over Fresno FC. And as we look at the standings, as mentioned, Phoenix Rising on top of the table, 44 points. Portland Timbers 2 down there in 9th on 28. And Los Dos sitting just below 10th spot on 26 points to this point in the season. some of the storylines from around USL. USL San Diego announced on Thursday evening the official launch of its community outreach program, which will engage San Diegans in the process of building an identity for the team. Of course, former United States men's national team legend Landon Donovan was appointed their executive vice president of soccer operations. USL clubs and players honored by USSF Academy. There were 16 players on USL Championship and USL League One rosters this season honored in the conference best 11s. You're looking at one of them tonight in Jorge Hernandez for Los Dos. And then Las Vegas Lights took on a new look for an important cause as they hosted Rio Grande Valley FC. They raised awareness and encouraged fans to sign up to become organ donors. And pretty cool, as a part of the night, the club welcomed former professional player Simon Keith as its guest. The English forward was the first player to compete professionally after receiving a heart transplant. Well, we're just about set for kick here in the second half as Los Dos will get us underway. If you look at Erik Williamson, Portland see if they can come out on the front foot here in the second half and take it to the Galaxy, as there has been one substitution at the break. We'll get that for you momentarily, as Marvin Loria has come off for T2 and Foster Langsdorff is on for Cameron Knowles' side. So we'll see, Nat, if this creates maybe a little bit of a formation change for Portland, with Langsdorff likely playing up top in that striker role.
Yeah, definitely. We'll change things a little bit just in terms of how T2 come out and attack. Langsdorff so good with his movement up top. I think we'll give them a little bit more of a presence in the central part, while Asprilla running up and down the flanks will give them a little bit more speed and pace out there.
T2 with their first build forward of the second half.
Also, Fletcher looks like Los Dos has made a substitution as well, the number 47. Coming in on the right-hand side, Hernandez.
Yeah, so Jose Hernandez. We have a Jorge and a Jose Hernandez in the game for Los Dos. So he'll come on. And T2 looking to try and break their 5-match winless streak. Have struggled here as of late. And when tied at the half, they are 2-1-3 this season. Andy Polo as well to keep possession. And here's Asprilla down that left channel. 1v1 versus Schultz. Keeps it in the box. Tries to spin around Schultz. Plays it back to Miller. First time cross in. Kind of a miss-hit clearance up in the air, but eventually cleared away by the Los Dos defense. Portland asking a few questions here early on in the second half. So the change came, just getting some clarification on it now. Michael Gallagher, who took the ball off the side of the head as Darren Asprilla is dispossessed there. Gallagher took the ball off the side of the head from Loria right at the end of the first half. He has come out at the break. As Jorge Hernandez is able to keep this one in play, defended by Polo. Will send the cross in towards the back post. Miller heads along and will try and chase it down in the corner, but it will be the halftime substitute Jose Hernandez to shepherd it out to touch. So Hernandez comes in. Schultz will now move back to the right back slot, and Hernandez will take up the space that Schultz played in the first half.
Marks again, Bill went right. Bill went right.
Harvey goes down behind the play, advantage played. And now the ball will come back for the foul committed by Williamson on Harvey.
Yeah, Williamson just leaving one in here on Harvey, just coming a little bit late. I think he just steps on his toe there. That one really, really hurts. I can tell you from experience. Certainly a foul there on Williamson. And early on in this second half, T2 are going to have to step up and defend this set piece.
So Jose Hernandez, the 23-year-old Mexico City, Mexico native, over 50 pro appearances in his career. His first season with Los Dos, spent the last 2 seasons on loan with Real Monarchs, 3 goals and 28 appearances. Sends this one in, looking for Depew all the way through to Jorge Hernandez. Kendall McIntosh with an important parry with his left hand over the crossbar in front of the on-rushing Los Dos attacker. Gives up the first corner kick of the night for Los Dos.
It's a smart play from Monteveros just to get the ball floated in back across the goal to that far post. Almost goes in the net. Kendall McIntosh does well to keep it out.
Hey, follow. Aquí.
Very cool to hear the interactions of the players down there on the field as we prepare for this corner kick, which will come from that far flag. Left-footed in-swinger, headed on by Hilliard Arce. Eventually cleared away by Esprilla, only top of the box though. It's picked up there. Esprilla, well done defensively to win it back. Dispossessed momentarily, falls to Miller, now out to Polo, who's got space in front of him. Here comes Polo. Polo grabbed once, able to get by that man. Now touches over to Langsdorff, in space, prep touch, shoots, blocked. And an important block coming in from the Los Dos defender. That was Depew.
T2 doing so well here on this counterattack with Andy Polo leading the charge. He's just slicing there in through the central of that defense. Commits a bunch of defenders from Los Dos and gives it out to Foster Langsdorff, who just can't get a shot off quick enough. It's a good recovery, though, there by Los Dos defenders.
It's got to be a first-time hit from Langsdorff there.
I think either he has to hit it first time or he's got to cut back on his left hand, or sorry, his left foot to give himself that space.
Comes a ball over the top, foot race between Jose Hernandez and Miller. But the 34-year-old Costa Rican gets there in front of the 23-year-old from Mexico. We'll see our second substitution already from Los Dos. It'll be Augustine Williams, the former T2 player. Made 67 appearances, scored 11 goals for T2 in his time in Portland. He will come on in place of the goal scorer in the first half for Los Dos, Ethan Zubak. So Augustine Williams, the 21-year-old from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Signed in the offseason by Los Dos after a couple years in Portland. You bet he would like to get on the scorer's sheet here tonight against his former club.
And you have to think that's one of those substitutions that Junior Gonzalez makes, because he's trying to see if Zubak can go past an injury to give a player only 6 or 7 minutes into the second half. I think that's what it probably was. He probably had a knock he was carrying, thought he could get through it and just couldn't, and then just gets substituted very quickly here in this half. And interested to see what kind of edge Augustine Williams brings with him in this game, especially coming back to play in Portland, where he spent a big part of his career. Sometimes players come back with a big chip on your shoulders, trying to say, hey, you got rid of me, I want to show you what I still have.
Yeah, and Williams, 1 goal off the team lead so far this season for Los Dos. Got a bunch of players with a few goals to Los Angeles Galaxy 2. Kai Koreniuk is the leader with 5 goals, as Hernandez does well to control in front of Miller, still with the top of the box. He's dribbled all the way through the box pretty much. Now lays off to Jorge Hernandez. Hernandez shoots, and easy stuff for McIntosh.
Hernandez does a really good job of getting across the box. There's some contact there inside the box. I think he probably could have gone down there. Opts not to. Passes to Hernandez for the shot, but certainly Los Dos looking dangerous when they have a little bit of extra speed out there with Hernandez on that right-hand side.
Los Dos still holding that high line. You don't have necessarily the speed up top with Langsdorff that you did with Esprilla in the first half. So we'll see if Portland still tries to exploit that in the way that Los Dos are playing. Long switch over to Konechny, nicely controlled down with his left boot.
Yeah, you have to think, though, Asprilla just so much more comfortable out there in that wide area. Likes to make those channel runs, so a little bit easier for him to do it from there.
And just leaves Schultz in the dust. Hits a hard, low shot that Lopez spills momentarily, but only rolled about a foot away from him, and he's able to collect.
Well, Asprilla just showing why he's dangerous. Schultz gives him the channel there, and then he opts Asprilla to go inside on his right foot, hammers it towards that near post. A good save, though, in the end from Lopez, but Asprilla just showing how dangerous he can be out there, isolated 1v1.
Harvey, defended by Wharton, takes it off of Harvey very well. Dangerous back pass from Polo, able to find Hansen as Jorge Hernandez nearly picked it off.
Konechny just wide open there in that central area for T2. Harvey had gone out to play that ball. T2 had won it back. If they could have found Konechny there and transitioned quickly, they would have had tons of space to do it.
Polo loses out to Vera, who plays it out wide to Schultz. Schultz 1v1 versus Miller. I'll play it to Jose Hernandez. Vera, Harvey. Bit congested there in the midfield. Asprilla does well to use his strength to body Schultz off the ball and earns a throw. Schultz not happy with Ryan Jung over there on the far side. Felt like he was fouled by Asprilla. It's the second time Asprilla has went shoulder to shoulder with Schultz here early in the second half and had the better of the battle. McIntosh looking for Hansen. Looks like he did get a little flick to it, but couldn't quite steer it enough towards Polo to keep it in. Move forward from Los Dos. Jose Hernandez. Vera will shoot with the left foot. Had McIntosh jumping, but McIntosh knew about 15 yards away that it was going to be over his net.
Yeah, it doesn't really trouble McIntosh there, but you see the layoff. You see Hernandez just coming inside a lot more here, just trying to overload the central part of the pitch and giving T2 just a little bit more to deal with in terms of the numbers. But they know that if they can deal with that number coming inside, they're going to have a ton of space out there that Hernandez had vacated on that right-hand side of their attack.
Harvey will shoot it, and blocked by Williamson. Would have been an audacious attempt from the defensive midfielder for Los Dos. Asprilla, Konechny into space for Williamson. Portland certainly seems to have settled after the first 15 minutes. They've looked a lot better, and they've looked more in control here early in the second half, Nat.
And you have to imagine that the halftime talk from Cam Knowles was all about moving the ball quickly, having a bit more energy, and having some more urgency in that final third. And listen, he knows that his team has the quality. It's just about mentally making sure they're executing and being up for this battle. Los Dos has obviously given them some trouble early on in this game, but they've got plenty of time to sort it out, and they do look a little bit more comfortable now on the front foot at home here playing against this team.
Konechny was fouled there by Harvey. Quickly restarted, and just feel Bill Tuiloma's been a little bit more involved here early in the second half. Just the calming presence of a player with his experience, having played with the MLS Timbers handful of matches this year in central defense, and as he recovers from his hamstring injury, getting back to full fitness. As McIntosh, dangerous touch, he's fouled by Augustine Williams. Augustine Williams kind of cleared out McIntosh as he was letting go of that ball, but it was a heavy touch by McIntosh. He nearly paid for it.
Well, it was a tough ball back from Jadama. Plays it to his favorite left foot there, but he's getting closed down from Williams. He's got to take a touch to his right foot, which is not his favorite foot, and gets bailed out by the call there from the referee, but a little bit shaky there from T2 in their buildup.
Polo dispossessed by Harvey, but Asprilla there to clean it up.
But back to what you were saying about the veteran presence of Bill Tuiloma, you also look at Roy Miller out there and what he's done. You heard him organizing on some of those set pieces in Spanish, telling Andy Polo where to go. It's so important for a team like this.
Here comes Asprilla into the box, lays off for Polo. I don't think Polo was expecting it, though he should have been, because he was in a ton of space right at the top of the box. And Amada as well just plays it safe out to touch in front of Williams. But Andy Polo had an opportunity. Asprilla laid it off for him. Polo could have struck it with his right foot.
Yeah, it was like he wasn't expecting that ball to come into him. It takes a little bit too long. Doesn't make the right decision on it. That could have been a good chance for T2.
Ball finds the feet of Kielo, who's been very quiet in this match. Kielo had both of the assists, or 2 of the 3 assists, I should say, against T2 in the match that took place earlier this year, back on March 30th, a 3-2 win for Los Dos down at Dignity Health Sports Park. But haven't heard too much from him tonight, as T2 4-5-0 all-time against Los Dos. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Portland Timbers 2 and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on Portland Timbers 2's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. We're 1 hour in here at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you. Been treated to an entertaining match between Timbers 2 and Los Dos. Los Dos out shooting Portland 8-7 at this point. But Portland with the better of the possession so far here this evening, as Ontiveros, I don't know if he thought he was out of play, or he thought he was a wide receiver in American football.
I was just gonna ask him what he was trying to do there.
Just tap his toes, get the 2 feet down before crossing the line, but wrong sport. Long switch looking for Konechny, not quite far enough, and Ontiveros heads away. Konechny shoulder to shoulder, but a push takes down Jorge Hernandez, and Alejandro Aguilera Jr. ready for the call.
Just a little bit of contact there from Konechny. It's a good call from the official. But yeah, the game just settling down a little bit here. Fletch, both teams understanding that the next goal is going to be very, very important, but neither team really going for it. I've seen both teams step up and high press in the right moments.
Just ball over the top for Williams, who's in an offside position. And interesting here, Nat, we have 29 minutes plus stoppage time, or 28.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. And Junior Gonzalez has made his 3rd and final substitution of the match. So this is it for Los Dos. It'll be Ivan Gutierrez coming on, and he will replace Adrian Vera there in the attacking midfield. Ivan Gutierrez was signed in 2019 from Chivas Guadalajara, made 33 appearances, scoring 10 goals with Chivas Premier side. He's a Mexican youth international, played in the 2017 MLS All-Star homegrown game. But Nat, 3 substitutions down for Los Dos. Better hope no one gets hurt, as they'll have to play a man down if that's the case. The final potentially up to 28 minutes here.
Yeah, Junior Gonzalez obviously having to shuffle the deck a bit here based on probably that midweek game he had, based on injuries and issues that come up during the game. But I think this is a big moment for T2 to take advantage of that, to capitalize on these next 30 minutes, put Los Dos under some pressure, force them to defend, continue to have good possession, make them chase the game a little bit, and then find their openings in attack.
Hansen earns T2 their 3rd corner kick of the night. Konechny over to strike. Float this one towards the back post. Header won by Depew. And Jadama doesn't quite get enough on it with his left foot. It's blocked and cleared away to Wharton. Lots of room at the back post for Portland. Asprilla will spray it over there. Tuiloma rises. Didn't quite get to it. Now Williamson finds Konechny off the volley. And an important touch from Erik Lopez to push it wide.
And Konechny just showing how special that left foot can be for him, as he just pops that one up, takes a good first touch, lets it fall down to that favored left foot. And it's always going to be going, looks like it was knuckling wide there. Goalkeeper Lopez does a great job.
Floated ball in, and Asprilla can't keep it down. He rose to win the header, but couldn't steer it down towards Lopez's net.
Yeah, Lopez did a great job there, though. Fletcher of just getting down there. He's done a really good job, the goalkeeper, on the night, making a big PK save. We'll see this Dyron Espillo chance, just how high he can get. Some of his leaping abilities are just incredible. Can't get it on net, unfortunately.
He's just a shade under 6 feet, but he jumps about 2.5 feet in the air. And he's a whole head higher than anyone else out there when he reaches his full leaping potential. So just one substitution made for Portland to this point. Foster Langsdorff came on at halftime for Marvin Luria. The other substitutions available for Portland tonight include forward Ryan Sierakowski, a couple defenders in Nathan Smith and Max Ornstill, midfielders Christian Ojeda and Carlos Anguiano, and then the goalkeeper Alija Zivicic. As this one rolls out for a Kendall McIntosh goal kick. Asprilla heads on. It's too far outside. Found Schultz instead of Langsdorff. Had that header been a little bit more inside, Langsdorff could have been off to the races. Instead, here comes Schultz under the pressure of Asprilla. Shoulder to shoulder once again, and Asprilla gets the better of Schultz. And then Miller using his experience to come over and win it away from Hernandez. Now to Konechny. Konechny dispossessed by Depew. Great work there by Depew, the center back. Williams' shot blocked but falls to Hernandez. Prep touch, shoots, saved by McIntosh. Williams offside, saved by McIntosh anyway.
Los Dos just showing some really good counter pressure here to win the ball back, going straight towards goal. It's a ricochet there. It falls to the number 53. He just hammers it there down to the right-hand side of Kendall McIntosh, who makes a wonderful save there and even makes the second shot, even though Williamson was offsides. McIntosh just showing how good he is in that shot-stopping category.
And you know, it's tough. I mean, goalkeepers probably more used to it than field players, but Kendall McIntosh hasn't played in a competitive match since June 8th. So to be able to come out here and play as well as he has been impressive. He's been forced into duty a couple separate times. Come up with some big saves as McIntosh.
And you know, Memo Valencia, the goalkeeper coach for the Timbers, would be happy to see that.
Williamson does well to get it to Polo, plays it out to Langsdorff, brings it back inside, looking over his options. No one there. We'll play it back to Williamson. Los Dos did well to get back, close down the space. Here's Asprilla. Back to Wharton. As this game gets further and further along, it just seems like T2 pushing Los Dos further and further back into their own half. Hansen works his way around one man, tries to play it in central for Polo. It's cut out by Harvey.
Final third just hasn't been there for T2 so far in this half. Fletcher, they just haven't had the patience to cycle the ball around and find the right cutting ball or the right entry pass to get it into that zone and find that opportunity to score.
'68th minute now. Cleared away by Los Dos, only as far as Tuiloma. Great first touch over to Miller in space. Asprilla will try and work his way around Schultz again. Schultz able to get a touch to it, but Asprilla catches it before it crosses the end line. Polo dispossessed. So Schultz gives it right back to Asprilla. Now to Polo. Polo in for Asprilla. Flag is up for offside. And Schultz is down in the box.
And it was really good from the Timbers there, from T2 there. Just Asprilla and Polo connecting in that final third. Asprilla had gone and won the ball back and played Polo, who had faked the shot and then passed it to the oncoming Asprilla. Unfortunate to be offside there, but a little more creativity there. As you can see, it really creates an opportunity for T2.
Entertaining first 70 minutes here at Providence Park between Portland Timbers 2 and Los Angeles Galaxy 2, tied at 1 apiece. Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you. Now let's take a look back at how we got here. Started off early on, 7th minute. Los Dos had the better of the play early, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, and it's just a wonderful cross here from Schultz, getting his head up, no pressure on him, and Zubak's able to just caress that ball into the side net. Nothing Kendall McIntosh can do.
T2 had a penalty opportunity, could not convert, but here Dyron Asprilla took advantage of his chance.
Asprilla into the channel, does well just to get in behind and shapes up his body and just passes that ball into the far side netting. Easy finish for him.
10 shots apiece for these two sides as we wait for Nate Schultz to get some treatment and get up. But Nat, considering the rut that that T2 have been in, 5 winless after such a bright start and bright first half of the season, how are you feeling about what we've seen their first home match in a few weeks here?
Yeah, okay. I think that they didn't start well. I was expecting a brighter start, more energy, more quality from them. They've worked themselves into the game. They were able to get themselves that equalizing goal before the halftime whistle. And in the second half, it's still been a little bit of a mixed bag for me. They still haven't really taken the game by the scruff. They've had more possession, yes, but they haven't created the chances we expect them to create. And so I just want to see a little bit more urgency from them in this final third, quicker with their passing, a little bit more ideas, and then get Konechny, get Williamson, get those guys, the thinkers of the game, on the ball and let them try to find those passes.
70 minutes in the books, and Andy Polo comes off in place for Christian Ojeda, I should say. Your thoughts on Andy Polo's night as he recovers from a hip injury he's been dealing with?
Yeah, it was a difficult night for Andy Polo. I think he's just trying to get himself back to fitness, and he's playing a little bit more centrally than we expect to see him play, which I don't think he's as comfortable playing. So obviously I don't think we got to see his best tonight, but he's obviously working himself back from an injury, and I expect to see more from him in the future.
Foster Langsdorff does well to look like he wins that ball. He works his way around Depew, but no foul called. Looked like could have been called either way, but Langsdorff was trying to work his way around Depew, and Lopez would not have been in position to get to that ball first. Williamson loses out to Harvey. Here comes Wharton full speed back to defend Williams. And Williams fouls Todd Wharton. Let's take a look at that Langsdorff foul a moment ago.
Yeah, it looks like both players, that ball kind of catches up on Depew, and as he's falling, it looks to me like he brings down Foster Langsdorff. I'm surprised to see the referee not call that a foul. I think it should have been called in favor of Foster Langsdorff.
Not sure if Langsdorff would have been able to track it down, as there was that late defensive run coming by Hilliard Arce.
Yeah, I don't think.
But still, as Ojeda taken down from behind, that one looked like it hurt. As Ontiveros the guilty party.
I don't think it was denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity with the Hilliard Arce being in the area, but certainly warrants a foul in my opinion.
Quickly back to action. That battle between Asprilla and Schultz continues. Here's Williamson with it out on the far side. Williamson pressure, does well, just so patiently keeping the ball, but then a heavy touch, nutmegging Schultz, turns it over. No real numbers here forward for Los Dos, but they'll attack forward anyways. Here comes Gutierrez playing central. Cleared away by Tuiloma, out to touch. 74th minute. Unless we see an onslaught of goals here, this will be the first time since 2015 that these two sides square off and less than 5 goals are scored combined.
That's incredible.
Although here comes Konechny sending Langsdorff forward. No numbers here for Portland. See if Langsdorff holds it up a bit. He does. Looks for Ojeda as the reinforcements come. Ojeda will look over his options. Considers playing the overlapping run of Hansen. Instead goes central for Williamson. Portland now with all the numbers forward. Just Tuiloma and Jadama more than 30 yards from goal. Jadama all the way forward. Out wide to Hansen. Hansen a chance to cross. He'll curl this one. And an important header win by Hilliard Arce in front of Langsdorff. It looked like Langsdorff was unmarked there at the back post. Couldn't quite get his head to it though. And this little chip effort from Konechny too far and out in front of Miller.
It's just not coming off for T2 in this final third play. They're really not moving the ball as quick enough as I would like, but it's a good ball across from Harold Hansen. Just trying to find the head of Foster Langsdorff, and Hilliard Arce does a really good job of defending that one. But it just doesn't seem like they're on the same page, Fletcher, in this final third, connecting those passes, finding the right runs. And of course, this isn't a group that's necessarily used to playing together, this particular group of players, so you have to give them a little bit of credit for that.
Foul called there on Langsdorff as Harvey goes down. Well, as we reach the 75th minute, final 15 minutes of action when T2 are tied through this point in the match. They are 3 draws and 1 loss at home this season when tied after 75 minutes. Still looking for that first win. Boy, they'd like to get it here tonight for a multitude of reasons. This ball over the top for Tomas Hilliard Arce. Tries to play back for Williams, but Williamson is there to take it away. Then Ojeda is fouled behind the play. We'll see a yellow card issued for dissent there to Omar Ontiveros.
And Ojeda just getting inside there. I think Ontiveros thought he had got some of the ball there. Difficult to see from our angle, but of course on the dissent he's going to get that yellow card every single time. Referees typically don't like that.
Third yellow card shown tonight. Second to a Los Dos player, Erik Williamson, the only one in the book for T2 tonight. Will either of these teams find a winner in the final 14 minutes? Or will we see more than one goal? Cross in from Konechny, headed on by Langsdorff. And deflected, apparently off of Hilliard Arce, for a T2 corner, their 4th of the night.
I like what I'm seeing from T2, just attacking wise. Since Ojeda's come into the game, he's coming in as more of a central number 10, and Konechny's moved wide. It's given him a lot more space to operate in that right-hand side.
Comes the ball from Konechny, central, header won by Williams. Headed further on by Gutierrez, and then collected by Hansen.
I'd like to see Konechny just hit that ball with a little bit more pace. He's kind of lofting it up a bit. Just get there with a little more pace. Drive it a little bit more. Try to get it in that box to give some of these big guys a chance.
Williamson, known for heroics. Great one-touch stuff there from Portland. Spria can't control it eventually, though. And Harvey able to get it into space for Jose Hernandez.
Harvey's had a really good game for Los Dos in that central midfield. It asked to do so much, holding things down, being disciplined, being good on the ball. He's had a really good game for Los Dos. They have really needed his presence in there.
Jose Hernandez fouls Erik Williamson. It was one of the players that you focused on when we went through starting lineups. Is Carlos Harvey was going to have a big game. We've called this name numerous times tonight.
Yeah, we see Williamson just getting chopped down there by Hernandez. But yeah, you thought looking at the lineup sheet that T2 would have the better of the play through the midfield. And yes, they've had more possession, but they haven't been dangerous and they haven't dominated. And that's a big credit to Harvey there in the central midfield, just being really good with his body, a physical presence, and really working that possession really well.
Turnover by Los Dos, and here comes Ojeda. Harvey slides in, slows down Ojeda enough to force him to play it over to Hansen. Just over 11 minutes remaining plus stoppage time, 1-1. Both goals coming in the first half. Foul called on Asprilla, taking down Schultz. Got that left hand up around the shoulders, and Schultz went down.
Yeah, Asprilla showing a little bit of frustration here. Can't get in behind Schultz, who's played him a lot better in this second half versus the opportunities they've gone at each other in the first half. And certainly Los Dos has frustrated this T2 team in that final third in this half, and T2 just has to start moving that ball quicker, have to have more of a sense of urgency if they want to get these points.
Yeah, you have a feeling that as these minutes wane off the clock, Los Dos will happily invite Portland to have possession, not send as many bodies forward looking for 3 points themselves here on the road. Would be happy considering they played 3 matches now in 8 days to walk away with 4 points from those 3 matches, all 4 of those points coming on the road.
And if you look at it from Junior Gonzalez's perspective, Fletcher, he's going to say he's had a lot of minutes for his guys in the last few games. They're on the road right now. They've already burned through all 3 of their subs within the first 60 minutes of the game. Certainly packing it in and getting a draw is going to be like a win for them if they can just hold on here. And with T2 lacking in ideas, it seems like they're going to be able to do just that unless T2 can come up with something here in the final third. And Ojeda obviously has been brought on to do that. There's some signs of it with connecting Ojeda. Asprilla even just a little 1-2 touch there in the midfield here and there, but just not really coming off so far.
Under pressure from Asprilla, Lopez just sends it long. And then out off of Roy Miller's head for a Los Dos throw.
Harold, tuck in.
Nine minutes remaining. It's a big game for T2 when you look at what they have coming up. As Hernandez fouls Wharton. But when you look at what T2 has in front of them, they'll play 4 of their next 6 on the road. They'll go to El Paso coming up on August 3rd next weekend. Then Colorado Springs midweek on a Wednesday. Back home for consecutive matches against New Mexico and Oklahoma City. Then back out on the road the remainder of August at Las Vegas Lights, at Reno 1868. 2 steamy places to play in late August. So the road isn't very easy for Portland coming up in their next 6, but beyond that, they start to have a large run of home games, playing 5 of their last 7 here at Providence Park.
Well, if you look at the standings right now, Fletcher, this is a team that's in the playoffs, above that playoff line with 28 points. However, it's very compacted there, congested, between spots number 14 all the way up to number 6, 5. And you think only a couple points separating both of these teams. This is a win that T2 really needs if they want to continue to fight for that playoff spot.
Third and final substitution for Cameron Knowles. Tomas Konechny off. Ryan Sierakowski in. The 21-year-old from McHenry, Illinois, was the 23rd overall pick by the Timbers this year in the Super Draft. Had the game-winning goal against Oklahoma City back on April 6th. The goal against New Mexico United on April 27th. Hoping he can find a winner for his team here tonight. But as it relates to Tomas Konechny, 82 minutes, his first significant time after being fully acquired and signed to a contract by the MLS Timbers. Not maybe the night he was hoping for here, Nat.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit to find the game. I think that playing in that number 10 role, especially the way that Los Dos was playing compacting numbers centrally, it was difficult for him. He wasn't able to find the game as much as he wanted to. the moments he was dangerous, he was coming outside and trying to get a little bit more space out there. He had a good strike on goal in the second half, but obviously missed the PK in the first half. So still some work to be done from him, but a young player, and the upside is just so high.
Here comes a through ball looking for Williams, but it was too far out in front of him. Cuello was looking for another assist against T2 this season, already with 2 from that match on March 30th.
And Los Dos hasn't looked dangerous in this second half. They've just been content more to sit in and absorb pressure.
Bad turnover here from Jadama. Picked up by Los Dos. Overlapping run coming from Hernandez. Instead played sentry to Harvey, who can't keep it down.
And I'm really surprised there that Jorge Hernandez made that decision, because he had Jose Hernandez running there on that right-hand side. If he'd have played him, I think he would have had an opportunity on goal, but made the wrong decision there.
Portland's not careful here. Los Dos playing a little bit more forward. Depew to no one in particular.
That's what I was about to say before that last opportunity from Los Dos, is that they could nip one here if T2 isn't careful, if they're not considerate of their passing and not staying switched on. They're just looking a little unsettled here, T2.
Williamson taken off the ball by Cuello. Now to Ojeda. Ojeda has chance to put Asprilla into space. He does so. Asprilla, corner of the box, will hit the cross, fly it over the top of everyone, and really get his body right, and ends up in a throw for Los Dos. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Tuiloma fouls Augustine Williams. And Los Dos will, I'm sure, happily take their time with this restart, as we're inside 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at Providence Park. And Nat, you look at the places T2 has to go over the next month. Texas, Nevada twice, into altitude in Colorado. Not going to be easy road games, though. Almost make an argument to this point in the season, Portland has been a better team on the road than they have been at home.
I was going to say, they have really proved that they've got the mental capability to hammer out results on the road, and it's strange to say that, you know, for a team that just isn't as good at home as they are on the road. But sometimes that's maybe the way they're built. They're maybe better in transition and better maybe bunkering in and being disciplined and letting teams come at them, not unlike the Timbers themselves, as we've seen in the past with Orlando City and Colorado Rapids coming in, bunkering, and the Timbers not really finding a way through because they need a team to be aggressive, to come at them, to open themselves up for them to be dangerous in transition. I wonder if it's not the same for this T2 team.
Sierkowski, prep touch, over the top for Langsdorff, shoots, saved by Erik Lopez. What a save by the Los Dos keeper. Certainly up for save of the week. Point blank from Langsdorff.
And this was the chance Foster Langsdorff's been waiting for all game. And it's just a lovely ball over the top there from Ryan Sierkowski. Langsdorff is all alone. He's just trying to get some contact on that. But Lopez, again, making himself big. He's had such a good game for Los Dos, keeping them in this game 1-1.
And Lopez rises over the top of Tuiloma. Now Los Dos maybe tries to play on the counter. Hernandez has 2 runs coming. Hernandez and Augustine Williams, the pass looking for Williams, deflected. And now with 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining, how much does T2 have left in the tank?
And you would expect Foster Langsdorff to be able to finish that one there. I think that Lopez's reaction caught him a little bit off guard, but what a big time chance that was for T2 to get those points. Best opportunity of this half.
Hansen, heavy touch. Loses it to Ontiveros. Yeah, a bit of a sophomore slump, you could say, for Foster Langsdorff. Scored 14 goals last season, but towards the last 5 to 7 games of the year really cooled off. And then this year, just 4 goals in 16 appearances. You'd certainly like to see more from him, but you know, that's kind of one of those funky quirks, if you will, or superstitions, as players in that second professional year seem to have trouble finding themselves and finding their game quite to the level that maybe they did their first year, certainly with Langsdorff's career as he did in college. But a free kick earned here by Ojeda has created another opportunity for Portland to potentially find a winner. 89th minute. Williamson to strike, looking for his 8th assist of the season. Popped up in the air at the penalty spot. Cleared away by Los Dos. Jose Hernandez controls. Looks to play central for Jorge Hernandez. Instead cut out by Portland. Hansen able to keep it in play. And knocks it out off of Hernandez for a throw. 45 seconds left. Hearing from downstairs that we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the second half. Comes Asprilla, dribbling central. And now to Jadama. Jadama pops it over the top, looking for Langsdorff. Headed on by Williamson, who was offside. It was a great save by Lopez, as it was. But Williamson deemed offside by the near side official, Christian Clerk.
We'll get a good look at this one here to see if he was indeed offsides. Difficult to tell from this angle. Looks like he was a hair offsides. Foster Langsdorff with an incredible flick header there for Williamson. But Lopez again with the save. It wasn't as if he had scored the goal. Williamson.
It's hard to debate. Yeah, hard to debate. Erik Lopez is not the man of the match for Los Dos here tonight.
I'd have to give it to him, Fletcher. He's had a fantastic night. Done everything right. Kept his team in the game against a multitude, a decent amount of chances, I would say, from T2.
Here comes Portland on the counter. Langsdorff in an onside position. Is he able to get there? Foul will instead be called from about 35, 40 yards out. Very similar position to the last restart that Portland had, as a yellow card will be shown to Carlos Harvey, who, for all the positive things he's done in the match, probably okay to accept that yellow card as long as it doesn't result in a goal.
Yeah, he's going to be definitely taking that one. But there's really no need to do it because Williamson has already played the ball into the space for Foster Langsdorff.
And that's about the 3rd or 4th time that Harvey has done that after Williamson's released the ball. This time, Alejandro Aguilera Jr. caught it. So we'll see if Williamson or Ojeda can serve in a better ball.
We know T2's not afraid of some late game heroics. They're certainly good for it, as we've seen this season.
Nathan Smith has scored a goal in stoppage time. He earned a penalty kick in stoppage time that Todd Wharton converted the last time Portland played in this building. Can T2 once again find a stoppage time goal? Williamson can't get it over the first man. Brings it down. Just a hopeful ball in. Cleared out to touch for a T2 throw.
It's a poor ball from Williamson. He's got to get that ball up and over that first defender and give his guys an opportunity to attack that set piece.
There's 2 minutes remaining here in stoppage time as Ojeda brings it the other way for T2. Out to Miller. Asprilla making an inside run. Has the ball at his feet. Looks into space for Wharton. Finds him well. Plays it across. Looking for Langsdorff. Just can't get it past that last man. Los Dos looking for an offside flag to go up. None to be seen, and a corner kick for T2.
Oh, it's so well worked from T2 here to find that ball centrally in Asprilla, commit the numbers, and then it's Wharton who's wide open. I wonder if he couldn't have taken that touch a little bit further away from his body and just smashed it towards that far post. Again, Los Dos with some good defending last minute.
Here's Ojeda. has 2 assists on the season, looking for another, floating this one towards the penalty spot. Header won by Los Dos. Back to Hansen. 45 seconds remaining. Maybe one more last push forward for T2. Wharton will put it in. Not enough curl on this one, and Lopez catches. On that, you wonder where this was from T2. Really, for the first 45, 60 minutes of the match, they've really battered Los Dos here over the last 25, 30 minutes, created a lot of good opportunities, but as you said, and as you've mentioned, just that last piece has not been there.
And they just waited a little bit too long to have the sense of urgency, didn't they, Fletcher? And
here comes Hernandez into the box. Will cross it. Important touch from McIntosh as Jose Hernandez was there at the back post. We played the 4 minutes. Is there another chance in this match for either side? Alejandro Aguilera Jr. looking at his watch. We play on. Harvey. One last chance looking in for Williams. Controls off the chest. Shoots off the crossbar. Hernandez shoots. And into the net. Los Dos has found a winner at the death. It's Jose Hernandez.
well, this Los Dos team has flipped the script on T2. T2 used to having the late game heroics, and now it's Los Dos coming in here and getting all 3 points. And it starts with that cross in there. Williams doing a fantastic job getting the ball on his favored right foot. And then Hernandez coming in there. It's a deflected shot. McIntosh sees it but can't do anything about it. He's going the other way. It hits Tui Loma and just trickles into that far post. It's a devastating blow to T2, but Los Dos will take it. They've got the points, 2-1 to them. They'll go home happy.
Jose Hernandez had not scored this season until tonight in his 13th, make it 19th appearance for Los Dos. He comes up with arguably one of their biggest goals of the season. And it appears that it is the game-winning goal for Los Dos as Lopez collects, and that is indeed the final whistle. T2 will feel a bit hard done by with this result, but they did not take advantage of their opportunities in the final 15 minutes. And Los Dos, for the second time in 5 days, goes on the road and picks up 3 points, moving now to 7-7-8 on the season, 29 points, jumping over the Portland Timbers, who fall to 7-7-7 on the season, winless in their last 6. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights in this one. Start off in the 7th minute. It was a bright start for the visitors, and Ethan Zubak opened the scoring.
Yeah, and a tough start for T2 here. Wanted to keep Los Dos off the board early, but they just can't. Zubak wide open on that far post. A great ball in from Schultz. He's got plenty of time to pick his head up, take a touch, and find that open man in the box. Clinical finish there from the forward.
13 minutes later, it was Dyron Asprilla getting involved in the action and earning his team a great opportunity to equalize.
Yeah, finally T2 finds that space in behind that high back line for Los Dos, and a questionable call here for the penalty. Asprilla is going to take it. I don't think it was a penalty, but then Konechny gets his opportunity.
And Tomas Konechny wanted to finish this off, but he did not do so.
He'll want that one back. It's a poor penalty from Konechny. Didn't really hit it as well as he would have liked it. Not as far into the corner as he should have gotten it.
Asprilla earned the penalty, thought maybe he should have took it. Well, 10 minutes later, he was the one that got Portland their lone goal.
Asprilla was bright overall on the night, and he does so well here to chase down this ball. Watch how he shapes up with his right foot and just passes that into the far post there. Nothing Lopez can do. A great finish from the number 27. We expect this from him. Nicely done there. 7
goals and 7 appearances this season for Dyron Asprilla with Portland Timbers 2. We went to the break, all knotted up at 1. We moved to the 64th minute. Tomas Konechny off the volley nearly scored.
Look at that first touch. He just takes it so well. The ball is probably going wide, but it's an excellent save there from Lopez.
Things would open up, and Los Dos would have an opportunity thanks to the youngster Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, Jorge Hernandez came into this game, did a fantastic job with that strike. Williams is actually offsides on the ensuing shot, but nicely done there from Hernandez.
We move to the 87th minute. Foster Langsdorff, a golden opportunity for a winner.
Langsdorff will want this one back. Sierakowski just puts it on a platter for him, but it's Lopez coming up with a big-time save for Los Dos to keep T2 from getting those points, and then it would turn on him.
Yeah, Portland thought that they were going to walk away with at least a point, maybe 3, but Los Dos had other ideas.
And Los Dos just continuing to get after it towards the end of this one. It's Williams hitting it off the post there, and Hernandez just saying, hey, I'm going to take this one as well. Off the rebound, it hits off Bill Tuiloma and goes into the back of the net. Los Dos gets the points.
Well, Portland Timbers, too, will head out on the road for their next 2 matches at El Paso, at Colorado Springs, 2 matches in 4 days. The next time they're back in this building, Sunday, August 11th, they'll take on New Mexico United, one of the better teams in the league. We'll see if Portland can get the job done. That'll be a 6 p.m. kick back here at Providence Park. Well, I'll do it for us here from Portland, Oregon. For our entire production team behind the scenes, our producer Tony Smith and my partner Nat Borchers, I'm Fletcher Johnson. Tough result tonight for T2, whose winless streak extends to 6. Meanwhile, Los Dos, 2 wins on the road in the last 4 days. We'll talk to you on Sunday, August 11th for Portland Timbers 2 and New Mexico United. Have a great night.